Was this long?
Yes, ma'am. You got it.
Sí. Ya me necesitamos parar. Son las 10.
I'm gonna give it the 1 minute. I don't know which time we're going. There's a 10 o'clock over there. Wow. We're a little 1 minute off. If we could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Good morning, everyone. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Good morning, everyone. It's Monday, 10 o'clock, August 9th. Before we proceed, I'm gonna allow anyone that's not on the agenda to come before the court and speak. We have.
Yes, sir, Judge.
Sheriff, good morning.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Just want to inform you that we got back from our state conference. We were able to present 2 presentations representing Jim Wells County with over 180 sheriffs present at the conference. We were also able to meet with Brandon Woods, the jail administrator, had a discussion with him on our continuous operation of our jail. I wanted to also inform you that the Criminal Investigation Division recovered a travel trailer and a vehicle worth $75,000 with other furnishings from the trailer in the area that were recovered by the Criminal Investigation Division. So that went well. We are doing local in-house testing, and this morning we were informed that 2 of our jailers who had been vaccinated came out positive. But we are continuously being tested, as well as the administration that got back from the training program. The jail right now at this time houses 53 males and 6 females. This is what we have for this morning, Judge and County Commissioners. Thank you.
How many males did you have?
We have 53 and 6 females.
Thank you, Sheriff, and thank you for your dedication and representing our community, our county. We appreciate it. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Sheriff.
Sheriff, you all did a wonderful job. I had a lot of good, from a lot of your good friends, sheriffs in other counties, and y'all did an excellent job. So congratulations on that. For making us proud, sir. Thank you. And for continuing.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. As I mentioned there in the presentations, that you and the commissioners had signed the resolution. And at this point, we have over 30 sheriffs that have already requested information. They were able to get one of our thumb drives so that they can start the same program, of course, being initiated and established here in Jim Wells County.
Thank you.
Send your best to your demands also, Sheriff.
I sure will, Judge. Thank you very much.
Anybody else that'd like to come before the Commissioner's Court? We do have someone that's already signed on, Ms. Yolanda Moran and Larry Martinez with EDC.
Good morning, Judge Rodriguez. Good morning, County Commissioners. Appreciate just a brief minute for myself and Mr. Larry Martinez, our EDC Director. I just want to bring out that at the next agenda, at the next Commissioners Court meeting, we will have an agenda where we are going to do a presentation to give those county commissioners who didn't have the opportunity to listen to the presentation of the eligible uses for the American Rescue Funds. I know there's some commissioners here that weren't on the selection committee, and I'd like to give them the opportunity to ask any questions and to listen to the presentation regarding what are some of the eligible uses. And we'll also be discussing different ways that we can set up the community participation part, where the Commissioners Court will eventually decide how they want to participate in the community participation part of it with our community stakeholders. So that'll be on the next Commissioners Court agenda. I just wanted to let you know. I will be trying to set up some appointments to visit with the commissioners individually and just meet with them, see if they have any questions before the next meeting. And I did visit with Mr. Larry Martinez regarding the American Rescue Fund. So I'm going to let him talk a little bit about what our plans are working together and also with the chamber, the school district, and all of those.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Moran. Good morning, everyone. I hope everybody's doing well. Had a great weekend. I'd just like to say that Yolanda and I met, and Ms. Moran and I met. I've known Yolanda for a number of years, and we really had a good visit. It was really exciting to see some of the proposed things that are coming up and the things that are in the plan, which I think that correlate with EDC, not only for Alice, but for Orange Grove and Fremont. You know, they are part of Wells County, Bentonville, and everybody that's included in the county. So we plan to work with the city officials at those cities and communities and see what is it that they need or what their wish lists are and how we can accommodate them. It's always been nice to see projects come up, but you also have to have your budgets for the project. So this is a great opportunity for investment. I want to applaud and thank you for allowing us to participate and do this with city input and with input from the community, which is part of the plan. They want us to participate and hear what the people have to say on what it is that they want to do. So I think this is a great effort. I think it's a great opportunity that we invest our money in Wells County and hopefully provide things that create jobs, stimulate the economy, and things that we need for Wells County. It's a great step forward. These monies might not be available for us in our lifetime. So I think it's an opportunity for us to take a look at it. I applaud Ms. Moran on how she's putting all the information out. We've been discussing some of these things. So it's exciting for me to see this as well. So I'm real pleased to be working along with her in conjunction with some of the other products, other processes and things that we have for EDC. So we're moving along. We're not moving as fast as I'd like it to, but who is, right? But we're making some steady progress, and we're trying to do what we can do to better our cities, to better our counties. So thank you all for allowing us to participate and your time. Yeah.
Thank you.
Judge, Commissioners, I'd just like to add an update on, I met with Ms. Linda Reynolds on Friday. We made a phone call to see what the status is of our funding. And we did speak to an agent and said possibly this coming week, we will have our funds in the bank, but that everything looked good as far as the submission of our application. It's just taking a little longer, but just wanted to give you all that update.
Thank you all very much.
Welcome.
You all have a great day. We'll be in touch.
Got some items on the.
One quick thing. I know y'all can't ask questions, but we have submitted the application on the prior investment that we had. So we're optimistic that maybe by the first part of September, we'll have a yes or no. So just keep your fingers crossed, and I've already lit like 5 candles at the church. So I appreciate it. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you all very much. Anybody else that would like to come before the Commissioners Court? Commissioners, any announcements before we proceed here? I'd like to just make it very clear and to the public, to the general public while we're here in the meeting, that we want to continue to encourage our face mask wearing, our social distancing, and just to be cautious. Take self-responsibility and be for yourselves, for your family, for your coworkers, for your family and surrounding areas. We do want to encourage that, and we will continue encouraging that as much as we can to, because there are these variants that are coming out. There are breakthrough cases, as the sheriff mentioned. Even if you're vaccinated, doesn't mean that you cannot pick up the variant and infect someone else. Even if you're vaccinated, you could still carry the virus. So we want to encourage that. Commissioners, anything else?
Judge, I want to say that in the same note that the testing has started today. It'll be starting in Fremont, 10 to 2 at the yard there at our office in Fremont. And then tomorrow it moves over to Bimbo to the high school, and then moves over to Alice.
Wednesday, it'll be at the chamber from 10 to 2. And then Thursday will be in Tecolote from 10 to 2, and Friday back at the chamber. Friday evening, we'll be having our back to school bash, and we will have a mini vaccine clinic from 5 to 8 and testing from 5 to 8.
Also, I spoke to the mayor of Alice this morning, Ms. Cynthia Carrasco, and we also are working together and putting out these public service announcements to keep encouraging it. As Ms. Margie mentioned, Friday we'll be there, and we'll also be promoting the vaccinations, testing, and the face masks.
testing sites are on the website also.
Yes,
Yes, sir. The testing sites are on the website, on our Jimbo County website. Anything else? Any other suggestions
We'll have-
anybody may have?
Judge.
We're open to it. Yes.
We'll have a vaccine, the Moderna vaccine in Fremont at the high school, the 13th, and then the 20th, it'll be in Bimbolt.
At what time?
It'll be 9 to 2.
So just so everybody knows, these efforts are continuously, they're continuing the efforts, the teams of vaccination or vaccine teams, the testing teams. Those are the ones that are the most difficult to coordinate because they're so stretched out all over the place. And so we try to coordinate and schedule them in as quick as we can. And we're working with TDM, the Texas Department of Emergency Management, also as much as we can on a daily basis to keep them abreast of what we need here because the resources are very stretched and we're just trying to keep that on, staying on top of that. Also working with Christus Spawn Hospital and trying to supply them and submit those star requests for people and equipment, ventilators that they may need from the Texas Department of Emergency Management, so we don't stay behind and get behind the 8 ball, so we can have that equipment already available. So we'll keep everybody posted and we'll keep putting on the website as Commissioner Garcia mentioned, and then we may continue doing keeping everybody abreast. We may do a few public service announcements through City Hall, the mayor and I, so we can do that televised. Okay, anything else? Commissioners, any other comments? Okay, we're going to proceed here to agenda item number 4, consider approving minutes from previous meeting.
I have a deal here right there on second one. It states how cattle company provided lunch and refreshments. They didn't provide the lunch and refreshments. They just provided the building. We
So there was
provided the
no-
lunch. Yeah.
No
just to
lunch or
correct that.
refreshments, just the location. You get that, Ms. Nora? Any other?
Anybody has any other questions? I'd like to make a motion to approve items presented.
Second the motion.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And all those opposed? Motion passes. Okay. Agenda item number 5, discuss and consider budget amendment request by Commissioner Precinct 1 Margie Gonzalez to transfer 5,000 from line item 21,621,463 rental of equipment to 21,621,345 batteries, tires, and lubes.
Commissioners Court, the only correction I have is batteries, tires, and lubrication are 21,621, 354.
350.
But everything is okay.
354, okay. Thank you.
I'll make a motion to accept item number 5 is presented, Judge.
I have a motion on the floor
The correction.
and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Agenda item number 6, discuss and consider a budget amendment request by County Judge Juan Rodriguez Jr. to transfer funds from emergency management line items. Transfer 1,000 from line item 12,406,330 gasoline and lubricants to line item 12,406,390 miscellaneous supplies.
Judge, Commissioners Court, I have looked at the request and it's the request.
Motion to approve?
A second.
I have a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed? Motion passes. Agenda item number 7, consider and approve budget amendment request by Commissioner of Precinct 4, Huicho Gonzalez to transfer $7,900 from account 24,624,460 rental of space to account 24,624,454 repair of motor vehicles and transfer 4,000 from account 24,624,580 buildings and improvements to account 24,624,354.10 repair parts.
Everything is okay with the request.
Make a motion to approve? Second it.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Agenda item number 8, discuss and consider budget amendment request from County Commissioner Precinct 2, Ventura Garcia Jr. to transfer funds to and from the following accounts: 1,500 from 12,673,575 furniture and fixtures, 12,673,330 gas, oil, and lubricants. Transfer 1,000 from 12,673,392 miscellaneous supplies to account 12,673,453 equipment repairs and maintenance.
Judge, Commissioners Court, I have looked at the request and it's the request.
Make a motion to approve? Second it.
I have a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And all those opposed? Motion passes. Agenda item number 9, consider to allow Jimbo County Commissioner Precinct 2, Ventura Garcia Jr. to open and accept bids for CHIP seal project County Road 211. We have one bid that was submitted, correct? Just one bid?
Yeah, that's the only one I can.
You wanna,
Yeah, go ahead.
need a knife. Commissioner, you want to?
Okay. This bid's from, who's in?
J. Carroll Weaver.
J. Carroll Weaver. And he's proposing, okay, he's proposing at $2.55 per square yard on a single code for a total of $38,250. The only bid we have, $2.55 per square yard.
255 square yard, okay, all right. That's within range. $38,250.
So it's about a mile and a half.
You okay with that, Mr. Garcia?
Huh?
You okay with that?
But I'm gonna look at the numbers. It's pretty close. I just have to look at the numbers. But I'll be giving them a call and see, make sure we're on the same page.
Do we want to table this item so you
Yeah.
have a chance to?
No, we can approve the bid, but we always have the right to not to go with it.
Okay.
Go ahead and make a motion to approve item as presented.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor to approve as presented.
I second.
I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
All right.
And all those opposed? Motion passes. Okay, you got that. Agenda item number 10, consider and act upon authorizing the county judge to, in partnership with the city, request $50,000 in state 2022 grant funds from the Texas Department of Transportation, Office of Aviation for routine maintenance projects and for other lower cost airport improvements, committing the required 25,000 match and authorizing the county judge and county attorney to sign grant agreement contract documents.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners, county staff, and members of the community. This is the state aviation grant we apply for every year for routine maintenance and small capital projects at the airport. And for 2021, we requested $50,000 in state grant funds, and the city provided half of the required match and the county did too. We've done some routine maintenance at the airport with those grant funds, and we're currently working on some proposed apron improvements for hangars at the airport. And then for 2022, we're requesting authorization to apply again for $50,000, which would require $50,000 from the city and the county, $25,000 from the city and $25,000 from the county to continue with the routine maintenance at the airport and also to continue with the small capital projects such as the apron improvements, fuel tank purchases, etc. This will be on City Council's agenda next week on the 17th.
Barbara, thank you very much for all the hard work you do and for always being on top of that. And
You're welcome, and I appreciate all the support that you and the commissioners provide to us in operating the airport.
So the grants for what, 50,000?
Yes, sir. We would be requesting $50,000 in state grant funds, and then the city would provide $25,000 in match And the county would also provide $25,000 in
We'll have 100,000 total.
total. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to make it clear.
We have that budgeted, right? No?
Yes,
It's in our budget, and we'll make sure it's in our budget again. We're coming up to the budget.
right. We're coming up, and that's the normal
Yeah, that's-
interlocal
That's
agreement.
pretty normal, but I just wanted to make it clear it's gonna be
That's a
100,000.
good one because it doesn't state there that it's 100,000. It's just.
I make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
We have a motion on the floor and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you.
Have a great
Thank
day.
you.
Thank you. You too.
Agenda item number 11, as required by the state of Texas, Jimbo County Emergency Service District 11 would like to submit their annual compilation report for the year ended September 30th, 2020.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners
Morning.
Court, everybody
Morning.
present here. Just, would like to hand this over to you guys. Every year we do this. I know we could just send it to you and be done with it, but we'd like to be a little bit more personal with our stuff.
Appreciate
We
that.
got a good thing going on at our EDC. We welcome everybody to come visit us one time. And I'm sure that you'll find the report to your likings and we appreciate everything you guys do for us. I know you guys had your hands full with money problems and budget coming up and everything, but like I said, we really appreciate. We live in Sandia. We're that part. We're still Jimbo's County. So the EDC, we still got, we need a store. But again, just thank you. I just want to present that to you guys.
We're working on all your other projects, everything else
Good.
that we had discussed, and
Good.
we'll be following up on that as quick as we can.
And we appreciate it.
And everything else, but thank you for the report. and
Yes,
for
sir.
the-
And thank you for having me. I hate to eat and run, but I got to go to Midland.
Have a great day, sir. Thank you for your help.
Thank you.
Abraham,
Thank you.
thank you for your service.
Yes, thank you. Have a good day. Safe trips. Okay, agenda item number 12, consider and take action to authorize county judge to execute a lease purchase agreement for a 2022 Mack GR 64F dump truck for use by the Precinct 4 Road and Bridge Department. I think,
Yes, this is a lease that we go through every year. We
Just
did it the last
replacement.
couple of years.
right,
We pay about $15,000 plus for a brand new dump truck that comes in every year. They just rotate them, take the old one out, bring a new one in. So we've done it for the last 2 years.
okay, that sounds about right. I have that agreement, I believe you sent
Yes,
it
sir.
forwarded to me.
Yes, sir.
I make a motion to authorize the county judge to execute the lease purchase.
Okay, I have a
I'll
motion.
second it.
I have a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Aye.
And all those opposed? Motion passes. Agenda item number 13, consider and take action to approve the Jimbo County Tax Assessor Collectors 2022 fee schedule to be submitted to the Vehicle Titles and Registrations Division of the Texas Department of Motor Vehicles.
Mr. Audio.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, we.
On the corner.
What this is, good morning, Commissioners, Judge. Hope everybody's doing good. Take care and be safe, okay? What this is the imposition of the optional fees of the calendar year for 2022. And I need for you all, for the Commissioners and the Judge to approve. We are not changing anything. We are collecting the road and bridge, $10, and child safety, $1.50, which is a total of $11.50. Now, I have also enclosed what we collected for the calendar year of 2020, which was $42,252.50 for child safety. And up to June, we have collected $27,759 for up to June of 2021. And the road and bridge, we have collected for 2020, $321,700. That is the collections that we have had in the fiscal year of 2020, and child safety, the child safety would be up to June of 2021. Do I have any questions about approving?
No, this money goes to the city?
What,
The money, I guess, gets distributed among
The shell safety?
the child safety. the
Oh,
child
it's
safety
divided
is-
up.
There's a report, and then it's done by Linda, and it's divided among the different entities, cities in the area, and they all get a percentage.
yes,
That
they all
particular
get,
fee?
On the child safety.
the city and everybody gets a certain,
Child safety is-
right.
Okay.
And that is done in June.
Yeah,
and they
in
get-
June, okay.
Well, July 1st, that's when they get their portions. That's why we divide this up to the budget. Any other questions?
Right here on the County Road and Bridge Fund, fee, 502.401, may not exceed $10. We don't charge that right now, right?
What it is that when you get
we're-
your renewals, it's right there, $10 for road and bridge and $1.50 for child safety.
Are we charging it right now?
Yes?
Yes, it's been done since,
That's not the special fee that you can charge, no? For just road and bridge?
well, this is for the county. That's why, I mean, that's the most we can charge.
Yeah.
So that's it. But it's been done for, goodness gracious, I don't know how many years. I would say over 20 years.
It's down from prior years, though.
So it's always been $10 and $1.50.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mary. Have a good day.
I make a motion to approve the fee schedule.
I have a motion on the floor and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 And all those opposed? Motion passes. Okay. Agenda item number 14, consider and take action to approve new email and internet service agreement effectively January 1st, 2022 with the County Information Resources Agency, Sierra of the Texas Association of Counties.
Excuse me, Commissioners, Judge. This is basically due to a price changing, we use this, their service for the internet. I'm sorry. This is the price changing, for the internet and email service we have right now. It's gonna go effect in January of 22. So we have to accept their pricing and for their service fee. So it's pretty much the increase has been changed on that service.
And do we know what the increase is?
Yeah. Yes.
And we'll go ahead and get with Robert, make sure that it is covered in the budget. That's if you all accept it.
With a provider, who's the provider again?
The provider is the Texas County Information Resource Agency,
Through their.
the same provider,
same
but the
provider.
service change.
So we'll just confirm the fees consistent with what we've had before.
I just
I
want to
make-
say one thing about it.
Yes.
We're having a little bit of problems. We have been down several times already with the internet. And right now, we can't serve the customers because we're down.
But I think it's the internet all around, right? Because we've had some problems too.
That's a separate, particular type of system they work with.
This is the
So you're on
local.
that, you're on talk.
Right. But that's the different service.
So Mary, we do have to address that. And Robert, you're on that as far as with the provider? The provider that services the tax assessor collector? Totally separate? Who manages that system?
Through TAC.
It's not part of this
I got
line
you.
item.
I just want to make sure that it's all tied in later on together.
I make a motion to approve.
I second the motion.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And all those opposed? Motion passes. Okay. Agenda item number 15, consider and take action to approve interlocal agreement with Lubbock County for indigent defense in capital cases to be provided by the Regional Public Defender.
Judge, Commissioners, this is an agreement that we've had in place for a while now. In the event we have a indictment for capital murder and the defendant is indigent, he or she would be entitled to court-appointed counsel. Sometimes we don't have, being court-appointed counsel on a capital case requires more extensive qualifications. We do have some on our list. I think most of them are from Corpus Christi. This gives the judge another option. This is a public defender's office out of Lubbock. And by participating in this, in the event we have one of those types of cases, they can provide somebody off of their list that can provide counsel to the defendant. I think our share, it's prorated. It's a statewide program. They do get funding from the Indigent Defense Fund for part of it. So our share annually is approximately $34,000.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor in a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And all those opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Guerra.
Yes.
Agenda item number 16, consider and take action to adopt guidelines and criteria under the Property Redevelopment and Tax Abatement Act, Chapter 312 of the State of Texas Tax Code.
Judge, this item pertains to a company that is looking to relocate in Jim Wells County. And we should table this today. We're not ready. I was advised that it needs to be published in the Echo. Ms. Reynolds took care of that. I believe it's going to run on the 17th of this month. And once it runs in the paper, we can take it up on the 27th.
Motion to table.
I have a motion and a second on the floor to table the item. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Item is tabled. Agenda item number 17, consider and take action to approve and adopt 2022 Sheriff's and Constable's fee schedule to be effective January 1st, 2022. Schedules, are we familiar with those schedules? Do we have
Sheriff's there.
There, Judge, that's a report that we do every year, and the Sheriff's Department does have a change, and maybe the sheriff can go ahead and speak on that.
It's going to be on the, Judge, thank you, JC. It's going to be, Judge, on the writs. We have received a whole bunch of writs this year and last year, and it's getting very complicated. We have only one officer that is serving those writs, plus all the Attorney General's requests for subpoenas, and therefore we have to possibly increase the fees on it. It's recommended. We met with other law enforcement agencies, and that's what we're making a recommendation to Mr. Pettis.
Okay, Sheriff, and also Sheriff, I'll get with you regarding that so we can see how we can, I know we've spoken about it a little bit.
Yes, sir.
So we could visit here soon so we can also, I know you've been real good in your people, and I know y'all are overstretched, and maybe we'll be looking at assisting and adjusting and helping out a little bit with, as far as your manpower a little bit, okay? We'll talk about it before the.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Commissioners.
Are you gonna leave the fee the same?
Oh, he's gonna increase it.
He's gonna increase it, but we need to know about how much. No?
Yeah. We need to have an idea, but we'll work on that schedule. We can put it back on the agenda maybe so we can be clear on the next meeting.
It's not, is the fee schedule not attached? I thought we had that. I thought
We do have that.
Yeah.
Recommended one?
What is recommended, Sheriff?
The subpoena is $90.
It's a lengthy list of fees.
It's a lengthy list of fees. I don't have one with me right now. I know we submitted it to Mr. Pettis. He might have it.
Yes, it is increased by $10 from 45 to 55.
Now, those are the writs?
That's the writs, correct. I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It's
no.
not the writ, it's the,
Service, the service citation.
And
There's a whole list, just so everybody understands, there's a list. of fees.
Yeah, I believe the writs, we had make a recommendation go up to 220.
Yes. And that recommendation is in line with a lot of other agencies and a lot of other counties.
Yes, sir, Judge.
Just to keep up with the demand and with the cost. It's
they become very
very-
complicated. They're very complicated and very, very difficult to serve. Some of these people have left and, you know, our officers traveling all over the county looking for them.
And the increase is a modest increase considering everything else. It's just to keep up with your costs and the, like you said, the complications that come with it.
Yes, sir.
We just need to know for the approval part of it.
The fee schedule was attached to the online agenda.
If we have the numbers, it's okay.
And once you approve that, probably need to get Robert to post that on the website to publish it. Those would be the new fees that go into effect January 1 of 22.
So no, these
Motion.
fees go to the general fund and then from there distributed or how does that
They're
go?
all different, some are go to state, they're all divided
Offices,
differently.
yeah.
It's a lot of work, complicated, but they do a good job because it's a breakdown and it's prorated
So the
proportionally.
sheriff would have access to these fees?
Most of them
It's
go
money.
to the general fund.
I make a motion to adopt the sheriff and constable fee schedule to be effective January 22.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor
Second.
and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Agenda item number 18, discuss and consider approving the consolidation of voting precincts and designation of polling locations for the November 2nd, 2021 constitutional amendment election.
Morning, Commissioners.
Good morning, Mr. Guerra.
Hey, there's been a new circumstance since this was put on the agenda. It looks like a local political subdivision might be interested in contracting with the elections office for this line item. So hopefully we can table this until we find out on August 16th if they're going to accept the contract that we'd offer them.
Okay,
I
I
make a motion to table the item.
Second.
have a motion on the floor and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Guerra. Let me see, what else? We got some other stuff, right?
Yes, sir.
We got agenda item number 19, discuss and consider approving the locations and hours of operation for early voting for the November 2nd, 2021 constitutional amendment election.
Okay, and if I can, this will be comprised of 2 weeks of early voting, beginning October 18th and ending October 29th. The 4 locations will be Fremont City Hall, our courthouse, Orange Grove City Hall, and the Ben Bolt Fitness Center. So the 2 weeks of early voting will take place at these 4 locations. The hours of operation will be from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday for both weeks, to include the lunch hour.
All righty, Mr. Guerra.
Motion to accept item is presented, Judge.
I have a motion on the floor. In a second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And all those opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Guerra.
Thank you.
Sir, agenda item number 20, consider and take action to approve request by Gregory C. Schlimmer to amend Deer Meadow Estates, section 2, lots 15 and 16 in order to relocate the dedicated currently unused drainage easement to new location entirely within lot 16.
Judge, Mr. Schlimmer approached Mr. J.C. Perez about this. This is the Deer Meadows subdivision just north of town. The way that this subdivision was platted, there is a proposed drainage easement in favor of the county that runs along the boundary of lots 15 and 16. Half of it on lot 15 and half on lot 16. Mr. Schlim, that was the way it was set up. Of course, the idea at the time it was set up was that different people would own every lot. Well, as it happens, Mr. Schlimmer has now purchased both lots. He owns them both, 15 and 16. So he plans to build, he wants to center the house in the middle of both lots. The problem is that the drainage easement will go down more than likely very close to the center of where he's proposing to build his house. So what he's asking is to amend the plat to move that drainage easement to the west, to the western edge of his property, which is lot 16. So the county would still have a 20-foot, I believe it's 20, it might be 40, Anyway, the drainage easement will be the same size, the same width as the one that's on paper right now. It would just be moved over to the western boundary of his property. As the agenda item notes, this is one that's on paper. It has never been used or opened, but it's there in case we ever need it. So as it's not being used right now, he's proposing to relocate it to his western boundary and amend the subdivision in that way. Does anybody have any questions?
Commissioners, the only question would be, there's not going to be any effects affecting the rest of the subdivision, correct? It shouldn't be
It
any-
doesn't look like, I spoke to Commissioner Ventura. He's familiar with the subdivision, and there's no need for it right now. So apparently there is no flooding in that area at the moment. Of course, as homes are built and things, the terrain changes, sometimes that creates a problem that was unforeseen. But as of right now, it's not even being used, but we want to have it just in case.
I was out there, Judge, and I don't see any problems. It's gonna be moved about maybe 20 feet to the right. You know, it's a little closer to their boundary.
Okay,
It shouldn't hurt anything.
all right. Commissioners,
Motion to
When they
approve
say
the
it's gonna be moved,
request.
he's moving it or who's moving it?
Yeah,
Yes.
he's got a engineer or surveyor that's gonna be replatting it.
so it'll be surveyed and it'll be documented and submitted. Make sure everything's in order, I guess. Yeah, the engineer will make sure.
It's all, Commissioner, it's all going to be on paper. They're going to submit a new plat, but there's no need to physically move it because it's not there right now. It's just going to be on paper. They're going to move the location from.
Future use, in case there's future use, that'll be the,
You gotta give
Good
credit
motion.
to this gentleman, because he took the effort to look at the plat and recognize the problem. So now he's gonna fix it
all right.
at his cost. So that was good.
I made a motion to approve.
They have a motion on the floor and a second to approve as stated. All those in favor say aye,
Aye.
and all those opposed? Motion passes. All right. Agenda item number 21, consider and take action to approve and adopt the Jimbo County Emergency Paid Sick Leave Policy COVID-19 as addendum to the Jimbo County Personnel Manual. Okay, folks, we're looking at. Cindy's here?
Yeah.
Cindy,
Okay. Yeah, I
all right,
popped in.
good. I didn't see you walk in. I
Good morning.
was gonna go in the direction, but here's Cindy, our resource person, so go ahead.
So I know myself, Noe and Michael were kind of been getting lots of phone calls in regards to COVID related employees being out. So we kind of talked about it and wanted to do something that like what the federal government had implemented last year. Of course, that did end December of 31st of 2020.
Okay.
So we kind of came up with the policy to same concept. If an employee needs to be out for, you know, any, whether it be quarantine, if they actually have the virus, if they have a household member that has the virus, to have what we're kind of calling it the same thing, 80 COVID hour sick time paid. Of course, if it's for a full-time employee, it would be whatever their schedule is. It does apply for part-timers as well, and it would be whatever they would be scheduled for. So if they were scheduled 20 hours that week, then they would get 20 hours.
Basically, this policy is to adjust and to
Yeah, to help them that
amend
way.
everything to help and to be considerate of
Right,
the,
that way it doesn't come out of their sick or vacation time as far as full-timers. Part-timers, of course, if they would be out, they just wouldn't get paid because they wouldn't have any working hours. So at least it would help them take care of what they would normally get, and it would be up to 80 hours. The time frame we're looking at would be, if it is approved today, would be effective today through the end of the year. And then at that time, if it's something that we need to revisit and implement for next year, then we could do that as well.
I want,
We are gonna go ahead and have the form that the department head will have to fill out. You all okay, she's gonna fill out the policy plus the form, because we have to have proof that they are, just like they were before. This is not gonna be retroactive, it's gonna start today, year forward. We'll be using the funds that this budget is really on. We have been getting a lot of phone calls, we have quite an increase in employees that have COVID at this time. They're having to use their sick time or vacation time, like Jimmy said, because that's our policy at this point. But this is just something that we think might be needed at this time.
Make a motion that we do it, but I would like to see it retroactive to July 1st, because I know we did have employees that,
I know we've had them for a long time. We don't want to go retroactive. I have some, I've had 3 different times that I've done it to them. They've used up their time and vacation. We don't want to do it retroactive.
and why is that?
Why can't we make it retroactive?
Yeah, why can't we? I mean, it's just a matter of, I know I had a part-timer that was positive, and it was earlier in the month.
So are we going to go back to since this policy ended?
No,
we
she's
said July the
recommending,
1st.
what day are you recommending?
July the 1st.
And you, Michael?
I would say at least July 26th, which is the last pay, the last pay period. I think the last pay period ended July 23rd. And this past week, I mean, as you all know, I've got 2 people out. There's a bunch of people out that are downstairs in the basement. You just heard the sheriff say 2 jailers. This would affect probably close to 10 employees already. Just if we make it to July 26th. Now, I know that, there have been some other people that have already been, and in all fairness, I would like to do what Margie is recommending. You go back even farther so that we can be fair to everybody that has had this situation since we lifted the telework policy. So maybe that's an even better date. We go back to the date of the telework policy so that they can give these hours back to people who have been at this point forced to use their vacation or sick time.
Yeah, we just did that because that was a policy that it was in place at that time. So what if an employee got docked because they didn't have any time? What do we do at that point?
Well, you can go back and fix it.
So what I would recommend, because I will be getting all the timesheets and the forms, if it is approved right now, then I'll go ahead and send all this information through announcement email so everybody gets it. So if we're gonna make the effective date July, it needs to be at the beginning of a pay period. So I don't have a calendar in front of me. So it needs to be on a Monday. So whatever on a Monday.
It was July 26th.
Okay, so whatever Monday y'all want to make it effective, then if it's something that's going to affect somebody that already used it, then with the form that's going to be attached, go ahead and send the form with an amended timesheet.
It's the first Monday in July is July 5th.
Okay, July 5th then is the first Monday in July. So that would be an appropriate date because it needs to be on a Monday.
So what kind of documentation you're gonna need?
Okay, so there's going to be a form that I'll send out through email.
have
So
like a
fill out the
testing and-
form and then an amended
So
timesheet.
if I had an employee that was positive, I do it for him. We do it for him.
Correct. Yeah, with an amended timesheet, and then we'll take it from there. If I have a question, whenever I receive it, then I'll give the official a call.
Lori, thank you, and Cindy for working. So I know y'all been working, trying to figure this thing out. I know each department, and it's just come upon us, without any notice.
Trying to help everybody so they don't have to use up their time. Right. Did you have anybody before July 1st or July 5th?
So I had, what if they were not tested positive, if they were?
That's allowable.
It would qualify, yeah. Uh-huh. So on the form,
Everybody's gonna be different, Cindy, so just pick the 26th or the payroll before that.
so y'all set the date. I just need to know the
July
date.
5th.
Is it going to be July
make it
5th or
Go ahead.
July
Make a
20th?
motion that it be July the
Okay,
5th.
I
That's
second
the
the
first
motion.
Monday.
Okay, when you all sign the sheets and everything, we're gonna put the dates back on the employee, on vacation and sick time.
Yeah.
And that'll be documented through you all saying that they were at that time out because of COVID.
COVID. We'll fight it. And,
I don't have anybody, but I think it's the right thing to do.
right, we haven't anybody, but there are departments that we're not aware of and individuals that have come up.
I believe we have something in the number of 7 at the courthouse at this point, and that's why it's become a real concern.
Okay.
And not just here at the courthouse, but in the RMVs and everything. And we're just trying to make everything okay so they don't have to use your time.
Right.
Thank you for your hard work, Cindy.
You're
I
welcome.
understand clearly. I had 4 people and I felt bad because one of them, an elderly, and he was around some other people and it wasn't fair for him.
Yeah.
So I agree with it 100%, but I just want to find out this funding, I mean, it's going to get paid through the CARES Act or what?
No, this is gonna be from your budget.
Right. It'll be in the budget. Basically, it's the same thing as what the federal government had allowed. So all it's saving, it's taking care of the employee. That way they don't have to use sick or vacation or have to get docked if they don't have enough. And also to help the part-timers that wouldn't get anything paid if it
Right.
wasn't. So that's essentially what it's doing. It's the same thing as what the federal government had allowed. It's still going to be out of everybody's budget. Everybody's budgeted for that amount. So it's not necessarily on the budget part, but it's helping the employee.
Can it come out of the American Rescue Act money?
Potentially, eventually.
Well,
I think-
We
eventually,
don't even have
yeah.
that money yet.
Well, no, but it's. we
I
should
mean,
be
we'll
getting-
revisit it at that point.
We'll visit on it at that point. We don't want it to be a big issue. I just want to go ahead.
We're
and
just trying to help,
employees.
basically it's to help the employee. It's not necessarily the cost because we already budget for this money. So at this point, it's just to help them.
This is just temporary to adjust and to work with this current surge and COVID. And we're working within the general fund, but that's okay. We'll still get those funds for the American, and we'll readdress it again during
Yeah,
budget.
and
We just
ultimately,
want to get
yeah.
it started.
They may allow some reimbursement back to our general fund. like
Yeah,
they
to
did
where it'd
with
be a
everything.
one-time transfer back into
Right.
general
How
or
long,
something like that.
do we have an ending date for it or do we
At
have?
the end of the
December.
year.
At the end of the year.
And then we can revisit it then if we need to.
Unless we bring it back.
Well, there's a motion and a second.
Yeah. Then we have discussions. I have a motion on the floor.
Second.
And a second
For the
I-
fifth.
for the 5th of
The
July.
The
5th,
5th.
July 5th.
Correct.
And I just also real clear, if we don't get the form attached with the appropriate documentation, I can't, it has to be
Process that.
submitted.
Exactly. So it's gotta be all complete with the form
Has-
and the
with
policy.
form.
Well documented. It gotta be well documented also.
And it's a simple form. It just needs to be submitted.
So I have a motion on the floor in a second, but, and this is important, any more discussion from commissioners or any questions? I think we clarified that. Okay. All those in favor say aye,
Aye.
and all those opposed? Motion passes. Okay. Thank you, Noe, Cindy. Thank you very much. Agenda item number 22. I was reading this. Stuck in my head. I can't get it out. Consider and take action to rescind Jimbo's County Commissioner's Court Order of January 29th, 1982, closing of portion County Road 415.
Commissioners, Commissioner Huicho Gonzalez brought this to my attention. Back in 1982, the Commissioners Court ordered a portion of County Road 415 that sits between County Road 418 and 419 to be closed. It also, that road, as it hits 419, curves to the east and back to 281. And the Commissioners Court Order of 82 also closed a portion of that road. That action was taken. It's in the minutes. It should be attached to your packet this morning. For whatever reason, the road was never closed. And so it's been open. It remains open today. There are some people, there's a person that approached Commissioner Gonzalez that is purchasing a piece of property down the past where that road is supposed to be closed. And so they're asking that we just clean this up to reflect what is actually out there on the ground.
Sure. All right.
Yes, Mr. Guerra is correct. It was never closed, Judge, and we've been doing the maintenance on it and everything, so it's just a gentleman sold his property and they were trying to assure themselves that they had a means of, to get to it. So when Mr. Guerra looked it up, they found that it was being closed in a different area, never did. So we're just trying to change it back up to its original status.
Leave it open.
Yes.
Yeah, it actually is open, and as far as I know, it was never closed. There is an obstruction where there shouldn't be, farther down on 415, that we can't find any authority for that. Somebody just went and put a gate up. But Commissioner Gonzalez has spoken to him. He's agreed to take it down. And so that would clear the way on 415 all the way down almost until it hits FM 1538, where there's another closing that was approved by the commissioners, but that one will remain in place. That I believe Dr. Mike Barrera owns the property there where that road closure is.
All right. Commissioners, any other questions or discussion or anything? So we can
I
proceed.
make a motion to take action to rescind.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor
Second,
and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And all those opposed? Motion passes. Agenda item number 23, discuss, consider, and act upon authorizing the Jimbo County Judge Juan Rodriguez Jr. to execute the consulting agreement between Yolanda, Salsa, Moran, Community Concepts Management Strategies to provide project-related administrative services related to the coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery funds authorized under the American Rescue Fund 2021, subject to legal review. We have everything in order. Ms. Moran, an agreement? Mr.
Yes, I
Guerra?
believe this was presented to the county attorney, Mr. Guerra, for review.
Ready?
And it's basically authorizing you to, the Commissioners Court, to execute the contract between myself and the Jim Mills County. And it was submitted to Mr. Guerra for his review, his legal review.
Commissioners, yeah, I looked it over. The only issue is, of course, since this was a mid-year, since this was a mid-year, that there's nothing budgeted for Ms. Moran's compensation. So with the understanding she can bill, but we don't have anything to pay her with until, and of course, remember, the hope is that some of her compensation will be able to be paid for from the actual grant. So with that in mind, the rest of the contract looks fine.
Okay, so the terms, everything is what we discussed, your agreement, everything. You just have to figure out, once we get this funding coming in, which we're expecting, but in the meantime.
Yes, yes, Judge. It's the terms that were presented during, as part of the proposal and during the presentation. And Mr. Guerra is correct. This is, of course, it is an eligible use. I did point that out during the presentation. Consulting services are considered an eligible use. And I've met with Mr. Noe Gomez to discuss how we will be setting that up and billing towards the fund. Now, these uses do go back to March 2021. So any reimbursements can go back to March 2021 on projects as well. So
Ma'am,
we're
thank you for
looking
that
at that.
clarification. Yeah, there've been a little delay. We've been trying to do it and take our time. The federal government eventually will.
Yes.
There's out of the 400
Yes.
billion, there's probably just a certain amount, a small number that's been distributed actually, that
Yes,
people have tapped
these
into.
fundings will, excuse me, I'm sorry, Judge. These fundings will come into tranches. You'll get the first half, hopefully within this coming week. And then the second one, the second half will come in 2022. So we'll be working for the total of the 7.8 million for Jim Mills County.
Commissioners, any questions?
I make a motion to.
Second.
You should have a copy of the contract before you as part of the agenda.
Yes, ma'am. So we have a motion on the floor and a second, and before we proceed, no,
She's gonna be like a grant administrator. County.
on this particular American Rescue.
Because I spoke to her and she's more or less, I just want to clarify that that's gonna be it. And that's something we'll talk about in budget. here.
There are other-
And I'll get with you, Judge,
Yes,
as
sir.
to what you want to do with. any-
There are other opportunities that we discussed, and while Ms. Moran is managing and administering this particular grant, American Rescue Plan, there's also other ancillary, other grants and other
Explain
funding.
everything. I just wanna make it-
And she's been willing, and those discussions will be ongoing, but if we tap into other funds, we're gonna make sure that we highlight that are not part of the American Rescue Plan that she's doing, and we'll take it from there. We'll
Yes.
handle it.
Yeah, as this is strictly on a consultation agreement for the fiscal year. And in addition to that, the contract does say that I will search for additional funding to help maximize the resources that we have received under the American Rescue Act.
ma'am.
So
Any questions, commissioners? It's a good thing. All right, we have a motion on the floor in a second. All those in favor say aye,
Aye.
and all those opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Moran. Agenda item number 24, discuss and consider and act upon the execution of the financial assistance award in terms and conditions with the United States Department of the Treasury related to the coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery funds authorized under the American Rescue Act of 2021, and designating the Jimbo County Judge Juan Rodriguez Jr. as authorized representative. Commissioners?
Judge,
Yes.
Commissioners, you should have before you a copy of the financial assistance agreement. These next items that are being presented are a formality. We have already requested the funds and submitted a submission request with the judge's e-document signature. This is the formality that will be kept in the file so that when we have the single audit, we will have on file not only his e-doc signature copies, but the formal signature authorizing the county judge to be the executive chief officer to sign off on any of the requests for the funds that we are receiving. And also accepting the award of 7.8 million. There's some terms, and I believe those have been reviewed by our county attorney, Mr. Michael Guerra.
Commissioners, and this is very tedious, complicated. It's a lot of documentation, schedules, timelines, and obviously we're signing off. Hopefully I don't get taxed at the end of the year for $9 million, but we never know, right, with the government? So we're taking responsibility, but no, the one thing I want to make sure is that every single cent of this dollars and everything we administer and we're managing is going to be accounted for, fiscally responsible, and we're going to manage it and be good stewards of this money, every single cent. So for folks in the community that's out there, that this stuff is all transparent, it's all going to be up there, working with the auditor, with Moran and myself, and so it'll be wide open.
Yes, sir, Judge. We
Thank you.
will do our very best to come during your Commissioners Court meetings to give you all updates on the status of where we are with our funding as we move along with the projects that the county commissioners choose to work on. But if you have any questions, Mr. Michael Guerra has reviewed the acceptance award.
Commissioners, another thing is, and Mr. Guerra and Ms. Moran have been working hard on this matter, and we've all been working on this. And for the most part, the community, you know, we want them to know, you know, the complications, the tedious work. It's going to take some work, and it's a big responsibility. And everybody, every entity, and every county, and every city, and every municipality, we all have a obligation and a big responsibility to handle these funds. And as you mentioned earlier in the meeting at the beginning, that we wisely invest and appropriate these monies so we can get the best return for our investment on a lot of these projects. We don't want to just go out and squander it, you know, and not be prepared to do the research and to figure out and get the most input from the community and from each precinct and from each stakeholder and community, and we're going to make sure we get that from Orange Grove to Fremont and everything else in between. So thank you very much.
I make a motion.
Motion to approve.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor.
Second.
And the second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And all those opposed? Okay, now we go on to 45, right? Discuss, consider, and act upon the execution of assurances of compliance with the Title 6 of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 as a condition of receipt of federal financial assistance from the United States Department of Treasury related to the coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery funds authorized under the American Rescue Act 2021.
Yes, Judge, you have before you as an attachment, the assurance of compliance with the civil rights requirements under Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Again, this is a formal document that has been signed as an e-doc when we submitted the request for funds. However, to make this part of our legal requirements and be put into the notebook that we are creating so that when we do the single audit, all of those documents are in order and we have them in place.
Sounds good. Formalities, commissioners?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And all those opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Agenda item number 26, discuss, consider, and act upon authorizing Jimbo County Judge Rodriguez to approve and sign the interlocal agreement for emergency 911 public safety answering point services with the Coastal Bend Council of Governments. Everything should be in order. Do we have anybody on there to same agreement so we can proceed? Pretty standard, right?
Yes.
Margie?
I make a motion to approve the authorization.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor. And a second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Agenda item number 27. Well, before we proceed, Ryan, you're the one that, you've been our representative there, so you're familiar with it.
Why would
There's a
it come?
meeting coming up soon. Agenda item number 27, consider, discuss authorization to issue requests for proposals for administrative and plan writing services related to the CDBG MIT Planning Grant Program.
Grant Works, are they there?
Are they here? Are they on?
They were on earlier, but I don't see her anymore.
So I had contacted Grant Works. Well, I had been asking if there was monies available because we have been trying to see what we could do for the levy. The levy, that affects my precinct. According to the letter that we received from the Corps of Engineers, it affects over 10,000 people and they're in my precinct. So I went ahead and I'm trying to look for funding during this time to help mitigate the levy and see how we can fix it to make it certified.
This has been an ongoing challenge for the community, for the area with the levy and the city of Alice, and working together with the county and those funds that we're seeking, because it is a high-end issue.
And there's this monies and the other one was called Bridge. It's another funding that's used for big projects for this kind of.
And this will help alleviate
Drainage
us
and-
tapping into our general fund. This is what we're trying to do, to seek this funding to alleviate these levee situations that have not met the 100-year flood and the elevations. And it's complicated because the Corps of Engineers, but that way we don't have to pay for it from our general fund. That's why we're seeking this funding.
We need to get it accredited.
Yes,
Yes.
that's what we're trying to do.
Yes, sir. Okay, any other questions, commissioners?
Motion to approve.
I have a motion on the floor.
I'll second it.
In the second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Agenda item number 28, consider approving payroll bills as submitted by county auditor with the exemption of funds 52, 53, and 54.
Why, it didn't have our payroll? The bills, it didn't show our
The bills,
payroll,
there's some right here.
but
Margie, Natalie's on now. From the prior item.
Agenda item number 20. Natalie, how are you? Good morning, Miss Natalie. We're sorry we missed you here for a moment here. 52.
That's okay, Judge. Good morning. I'm so sorry. I was logged in. I got disconnected and I was trying to get in and just was having a bit of trouble trying to log back in.
Okay, we approved the action item. If you want to just speak to it a bit about the.
Natalie's on now.
So I could,
From the prior item.
Agenda item number 20. Natalie, how are you? Good morning, Miss Natalie. We're sorry we missed you here for a moment.
nope, that's okay. I'm so sorry, Judge. That's okay, Judge. Good morning. I'm so sorry. I was logged in. I got disconnected and I was trying to get in and just.
Are we good? No, Robert? We have a delay. Okay, Miss Natalie, can you hear us now?
That's okay, Judge. Good morning. I'm so sorry. I was logged in. I got disconnected.
Can you
and
take
I
care of
was
that?
trying to get in.
Okay, we're gonna proceed here. Can the rest of us hear us? JC, can you hear us? Michael? No?
Yep, I'm good.
Yes,
Good. JC?
yes.
Okay, we're gonna proceed here and then we'll get back to Miss Natalie. So exemption 28, Noe, the payroll and bills, everything's in order, I know.
I'll look into it. There are some payrolls that are in here. I will look into it.
Okay,
None of the road and bridge have their payroll. in them.
none of them?
I was just-
Go ahead, Noe.
I'll go ahead and look at it.
Okay,
You wanna go ahead and okay it, and if there is anything else, you all will have okayed it already.
Yeah, we'll go back and look at it and make sure that everything's submitted in there. Okay.
Okay it and.
I move that we approve these payroll and bills submitted by the county auditor.
I second.
And a second, all those in favor say aye. And all those opposed? Motion passes.
Motion to adjourn.
I move,
A second.
all those in favor?
Natalie,
This
just so you
meeting-
can know that I spoke on, can you hear me? So I went ahead and
she?
spoke about the grant, and so we approved it. Okay.
That's what I was. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. Y'all have a great day. And